A few things going on here. You'll notice first that I flipped the pushing mechanism upside down so where the chain is on top. Essentially this was just to create more clearance for all the candy that's going to travel under here. It makes this rod shorter, which hopefully will allow my enclosure to be smaller. You'll notice on the back here is, I guess I'm calling it a baffle, but it's what it'll do as the candy goes around and gets pushed out by this rod. It'll start to migrate towards the outside of this disc, the spinning platform. This baffle back here will realign the candy and push it toward the center again, just a little bit, by about 4 or 5 inches. And that will be a feature of the final version. I'm going to throw some candy on here and just see how it performs. It's still the same micro switch touch action that we had before. Just pressing this button. Oops, it's not on. Touching this button will make the push our arm go in and out. I did have to upgrade the turntable motor. I was using a motor from a microwave oven turntable. It's just too weak. Once I got all this big disc on here, and these rollers surprisingly had quite a bit of friction. I wasn't counting on that. I thought it would make it easier and everything, but the rollers had some friction, so I had to upgrade the motor. Alright, we're going to try throwing some candy on here. The disc is just a little bit too big right now, just a little bit. You'll notice that the center of the disc is a little bit behind where the rod is. That's because the disc is about an inch oversized. It's 23 inches currently, and it probably measures to need to be around 24. And we'll throw some more candy on here. This is just stuff that my kids aren't allowed to have due to being awful. This is all low-grade candy that I wouldn't let them keep. Or maybe they had too much. That's another good reason. And we'll throw a few handfuls on here. So the idea is that we can pile it all up in the middle. And hopefully it'll keep enough for a whole night right there on the platform. Okay, so there's a whole, probably Halloween's worth of candy haul. You can see that the baffle's doing its job as this stuff comes around. It's just gonna neatly push it back to the middle. Well, maybe not so neatly. The final version, of course, of the machine will have some kind of track on the side around everything but the front, so that things don't just go falling off inside the machine. And it will also have the effect of keeping everything nice and tidy. Okay, let's try this and see how much it pushes off at once. Alright, hopefully it's not too many. Okay, first push, that's 2 pieces. So that would be the haul for that. Alright, let's return back to the middle. Try it again. So you can even try and time, so right here's some M&Ms coming around. You can even try and time it. We'll try for those. Try for the M&Ms, see if we can get them just by timing when that arm starts going out. Right now this platform takes about 25 seconds per revolution, so it's not even 2.5 revolutions a minute. High torque, low speed, just for the sake of... let's try it. We missed it. That time it was 3 candies. So that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Between 1 and 3 per play. Anyway, the motor on this thing is very high torque, so it can be stalled by hand. If I grab this and just pull to stop it, it will stop it, which is a good safety feature for the kids and such. But at the same time, the load of the candy on the platform isn't enough to stall it out. Alright, let's try this one more time. Oh my, that was like 6 or 7. That was a little more than we wanted. Okay, so we have a functioning model. What'll end up happening on the top of this, I've started designing it a little bit in CAD. So if you can picture an enclosure that comes, you know, you picture a box. I'm thinking of slanting the front at, say, like a 45-degree angle, have a cutout, and that'll be where the viewing window is. There'll be a small prize chute here. It'll fall off the front. Right now I have it, I don't know, 4 inches deep. Probably doesn't even need to be that big. And there'll be a little box here that you reach in, and there'll be a safety flap to keep you from reaching into any of the mechanical pieces. Up here, this will all be covered by a stage, a platform, a non-moving platform that allows any decorations I want to be up there. And I've got some ideas of how I want to decorate this thing already. And here, this no longer would be attached in the back there like it is today. It'd be attached to that upper platform. So give it rigidity, and in this direction, like right now, it's pretty wiggly. It would give it a lot of strength in the, you know, I guess the Y direction. Just, you know, it'll just be a lot stronger that way. Also, it'll make the form factor a little smaller, so I can cut this extrusion right here after the motor, and this lower one too, and that'll allow me to make the enclosure a little smaller. So I mentioned in a previous video I'm thinking of doing a Frozen theme. I think that will stay. Do something pretty girly this year for my daughter, and there's going to be some Anna and Elsa's running around at Halloween for sure. Again, this is a one button game. You press it and it extends the arm, and then it retracts on its own. There are some open pins on these relays back here that I'm going to use for the sound effects boards. So you feed in a 5-volt ground, it grounds a pin on the sound effects board, and it plays either a random assortment of preloaded things you generate and preload, or chosen ones, not random, so you can dictate what comes out for a given button press or pin grounding. Anyway, this is working out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. I gotta hide all this candy before my kids come down here and find it. Any questions, let me know.